Hello, everyone. My name is Amanda Matthews, and I'm the marketing coordinator here at AdvisoCon. And I'd like to welcome you all today to the webinar, Best Practices in Managing Projects with OneNote. Here at AdvisoCon, we are a group of authors, teachers, consultants, and technologists who are passionate about helping other organizations learn, scale, and grow with a mix of methodology and technology to deliver results. And recently, AdvisoCon has stepped into a new area using project management for community involvement by integrating a nonprofit and community outreach department. We offer free biweekly webinars that we refer to as Webinar Wednesdays, in which we spend 30 minutes to an hour teaching topics that range from Microsoft Project, Project Server, Project Online, Power BI, Visio, SharePoint, to project program and portfolio management and methodology approaches. With attending any of our training sessions, we offer PDUs, as we are a registered education provider with the Project Management Institute. At the close of today's session, I will give some instructions on how to claim those PDUs and how you can get in contact with AdvisoCon for any other questions you may have. So now, before we get started, I'll just go over the control panel quickly so you know how to participate in today's event. So if you want to review that, it will be in the upper right corner of your screen. This control panel gives you the option to adjust volume and other settings, and the audience will be muted for today's session. So in order to ask a question, you'll need to submit that in the questions panel of the control panel. It is now my pleasure to introduce Eric Odegaard, one of our project advisors. And so without further ado, I will hand this presentation over so we can get this webinar started.
Hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I'm happy to spend some time to talk about OneNote and why it's a good choice for managing projects. Few obvious questions up front is, well, why would I use OneNote if I could use Microsoft Project or Project Server? And then the answer is scalability. A lot of projects don't need the power of Microsoft Project or Project Server. I mean, if you have a small team project that's going to last, maybe a couple weeks or a month or something like that, a lot of the stronger project management tools might be considered overkill. So a lot of advantages to OneNote. You can collaborate with anyone. There's one version of truth. If you set up OneNote and you're managing your project out of it, everybody knows where the information is. It isn't a matter of, oh, shoot, some of ththese notes are on the SharePoint page and some are on Frank's desktop that I can't access because he's out today, or some are, other places. You have them all in one place where it's easy to access them. And one of the best advantages of all is it's free for all major platforms. It comes in every version of Office 365 except for Office Business Essentials. It's free and built into Windows 10, and it's also free for iPad, iPhone, and Android phones. And what's new with OneNote? Well, going forward, the OneNote that's built into Windows 10, as opposed to the OneNote 2016 desktop application, will become the only version. Still down the road a ways, but that's kind of the direction that Microsoft's heading with that, just so you know. So with all that said, let's go ahead and get started and just go through some basics of using OneNote. And if you can all see my screen, I've got OneNote open, but if you wanted to create a new notebook, you basically just go up here to File, select New. And the thing to do here is, whenever you can, is select your OneDrive account, because that makes it easily accessible to anybody else. I mean, obviously you can choose Browse or this PC and save it locally, but since kind of the whole gist of this is to set it up and save it in a place that's easily accessible. So that's all there is to that. I already have a sample OneNote notebook set up, so I'm just going to go back to the main page here. And some of the cool features of OneNote, if you haven't used it much before, is you can basically just click anywhere and start typing. And, you can go over here and it's like, well, I want to make more notes over here. It's very cool. You can just, like I say, you can just type wherever you want to. Oops. It's just that simple. I'm going to delete those out of there so we can keep going through some examples. Page header section, you can just right click on up here and rename this as you see fit. You can, over here at the side of the page, you can click add page. And another thing that's nice too about this is, I'm going to go ahead and do type something in here again, is each time you type something in, it's in this little box that's drag and droppable. So you could just type it over here, you could move it around, you can basically set up your page, you know, any way you want to, very easily. It makes it very easy to customize. And a lot of other cool features that folks often don't know about is you can easily start out with your notes based on an Outlook calendar item. And to do that, just go to Home. That brings us back up here in the Home tab. And that we want to do here is we go up and click on Meeting Details, and I'm going to enlarge this a little bit so we can see it. Meeting Details, that basically just lets you pull in an Outlook calendar item. And to show you that, I'm just going to click over here and I'm going to click Meeting Details, and I'm just going to click on today's webinar meeting. And there it just popped right in. So it's kind of like, okay, I've already populated my OneNote page with all the details of the meeting. In this case, it's a go-to webinar, so it doesn't list everybody's name. But if this was an Outlook meeting, it would show me all of the people that were invited to the meeting, the attendees, all of that would just be auto-populated. So very, very cool feature there. Saves a ton of time. I'm gonna take these back out. Another cool way to to start up your meeting notes is to just click on use one of the many templates that we have with that. So do up here, click on the Insert tab, and then we can go over here. We can do Page Templates. And there's a bunch of them in here, but if I click all the way down at the very bottom where it says Page Templates, I'll get this huge row of these up here. Let's see if I can't get this out of the way. And then there's all these different forms of templates that are built in. There's a ton of academic templates, lecture notes. You know, if you're a student, those are really cool. Lecture notes and study questions already built. Other good ones are business. We've got some of these are already set up for doing projects. Like here's a nice project overview one. You've got your project name, company, presenter, descriptions, teams, procedures, schedules. I mean, all of that's there. So super fast way to start. And we'll take a look at some of these other ones. We've got planners there where you have your basic to-do lists, simple or prioritized, or, you know, here's a nice project to-do list, you know, already built in. So very fast and easy to get started on this, which is, you know, one of the huge advantages. So let me close that. Or actually, let me go back to there. I wanted to show one other thing. You can also, you know, create a page and save it as a template. So right here under this drop down where it says My Templates, I've got a project meeting notes template that I put together that we use here at VisaCon, just as an example. And also, another very cool feature about this is, you know, you can start with a template, you can fill this all in, and then when it comes time to, you know, send this out, all I have to do is click back up here on Home, click Email Page, and you can see this is, let me resize this window a little bit. It basically just opened up my Outlook with a new message and just put the entire page that I was working on right into it. So it couldn't be simpler to share. And it's all, what's nice about this too is it's easy to take meeting notes in real time, because I mean, any of us that have done project management, all been there. We're frantically taking notes during the meeting so we don't miss anything, and then after the meeting is this mad scramble to type them up and email them all out along with the other action items you've had to record. This makes it so fast and easy. You can just bring this up, open up one of these templates and just type it up, and then before the meeting's barely adjourned, you can just click email page and send it to everybody that was at the meeting. Super huge time saver right there. Other things that are very cool is you can type in some items and easily turn them into a checklist. So if I take this and I just select these first three, and I go up here on the toolbar, oops, make that a little bigger, and then click this to-do tag. Oops, there we go. I'm get in front of, get myself lined up with these. There we go. And now you can just, when these are done, you just put in a check box, a check in the box to show that they're done. So very easy way to do to-do lists. Another way to do that is probably an easier way to do that is to just type hit to-do list, and that way it just puts them in automatically for you. That's actually the fastest way to do it. So another very cool feature. And again, the kind of the theme you're seeing here is OneNote makes everything like this. It's super easy to do and super fast to do without having to learn a really complicated software program with a steep learning curve. Other things that are very cool to do is we can have something typed in here. We can have meeting notes, and if you want to draw on the page, just click on the draw up on the toolbar, select one of these pens, and we've got quite a few selections here. Pens all the way from pens up to highlighters, but basically just grab anything, just draw on the page, it's instantly there. You can add shapes very easily. You can do graphing if you're a student and you're doing math. It just makes this super easy to do. And if you look at that, you go, that wasn't quite what I wanted, just click the eraser, and it erases really easily without having to follow each line. You can just, okay, I want that erased, and it's gone. So very cool feature there. The one caveat when you're in the drawing tab up here is that once you select one of these pens or one of these shapes, that your cursor is going to default there. So when you're done with this, always be sure and go over here and click on the back on type. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck with a highlighter pen the rest of the day, which is probably not what you had in mind. Other cool things that you're commonly going to do as you're managing a project in here is you have to deal with multiple files and attachments and what have you. So if we just go back here to the home page and then click on Insert, OneNote has a ton of built-in ways to insert files. You can do a file printout, obvious file attachment, that's something we're all familiar with. You can click on spreadsheet to basically put an embedded spreadsheet into this page, and then later when you're done, you'll just have a little icon for Excel, and you double click on it, and the actual Excel file opens up right in the page. So that's very handy. It makes it super easy to do screen clippings without any extra software, which is nice. I mean, a lot of us use various screen grab tools when we're building things, and those are all really handy, but it's nice to just have this built in. Same with pictures. Online pictures are great because you just click on that and it automatically pops up Bing with your search engine. And everybody wants to have a have a cute cuddly kitten on their project page, so we'll just add one that fast. You can also click online video and insert video from a lot of, any kind of online source. I mean, it just prompts you for the address. You could type in YouTube or what have you. And another cool feature is you can record audio or record video. And when you click on that, it'll basically just use your device's microphone or camera if you're recording video. So you could record your meeting notes that way as well, which is very handy. Other handy built-in features that you've probably seen in other programs, but they're worth mentioning, is you can easily just click up this date on time and insert the date and time. And then if you're a student, you can do equations and symbols. There's a lot of things to choose from in here, a lot of math in here. And for those of us that haven't done college math for a lot of years, these are familiar, but yet incomprehensible. So there's that. Other things that you can do that are very handy in this same area here is you can insert a table. Say I wanted to insert a table over here, just click my cursor wherever I want that to be, and just go up here. This is similar to the insert table that's built into Word, and it just pops it in, and then you can start populating it, as you wish. And you can resize that and different things. And another cool feature too is you can start out with this, and then if you want to, you can say, what I want to do, rather than have this in the table, I want to convert that to an Excel spreadsheet. And you click that, and it'll take a minute or two, and it'll generate an embedded Excel spreadsheet that'll remain in this page going forward, which is very nice. Get back out of that. To add pages, we've got this little add page over here at the right. You just click on it, it'll bring a new untitled page down. You can rename it. Rename it as you wish. There's another untitled page here. And just that few seconds there, you've got a notebook set up with pages for action items, risks, and to-do items. So this, just really lends itself well to managing projects. It just makes it so easy and so fast to do this. Other cool things we can do is you can add sections to pages, and that's up in this icon. So that just gives it a new section. And you can change the colors on these too, to make it color coded. If you don't want them all the same color, you want to have a list of tabs that are easily identifiable by color. Just right click them on and choose the color. Very easy to change. Another cool feature. And something else that we started to look at earlier that I should revisit in a little more detail is all of the ability to add tags to things in OneNote. Really handy feature when you start to use it. So if you just start typing some things, you can go up here, after I've typed these in, and you can select one of these, and what they call tags are in this drop-down box here. And if you click it, there's actually a ton of choices there. And let me zoom on this a little bit so you can see some of these. But it's very nice because not only can you tag your text with any one of these built-in tags, but then you can search on the tags later. And that's really cool after you've been managing a project for a couple weeks or a few weeks in here, and you've got lots of tagged items, and you think, well, I need to get, let's say I went in here and I tagged this item as item 1 and item 3 as it being a part of project A, and 3 weeks go by and you're like, okay, I need to find out. Now I've got multiple pages in this notebook, And it's like, okay, I want to find all of the action items for project A. You can just go over here and do find tabs, and you can bring them up and you can search for them. So that's very, very cool. It's not that apparent at first because you've got everything in, maybe one page of one notebook. But once you get a notebook with 10, 20 pages in it, being able to tag and search on items is a huge time saver and productivity increaser. It really is. It's one of those things where I didn't think I would use it that much until I started playing with it, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, now I'm almost in the habit, a matter of course, of just tag things because then I can search for them later. It's like, okay, I just want everything for project A. Here they come. Very cool. Other things that you can do here that's nice is, and this kind of goes along another theme of OneNote, is that it's so tightly integrated with the rest of the Microsoft stack. I mean, we saw how easy it was to just basically click a button and import Outlook meeting details just right onto your page. And it's very easy to just click another button and send the page you're working on back to Outlook. Another cool thing to do that you can do is you can set up Outlook checklist items right here in OneNote. And to do that, again, you just start typing something. You could say set up project closeout meeting, and realizing in my head as I'm typing this up, it's like this is in my OneNote notebook that I'm managing my project out of, and that's great. But it'd be nice to have this as a reminder in Outlook so that it'll up and remind me so I don't miss this. So now that I've typed it up, I just go up here and click on Outlook tasks, and I'll make this a little bigger so you can see it up here on the ribbon. So I'll just click Outlook tasks, and I can pick whatever day I want. I can pick, today, tomorrow, next week, or, custom date. If this was something I was going to put out, in 3 months, July, August 31st or something, I could just hit custom. But I'll just for sample purposes, I'm just going to click today. And that erased that because I had the cursor in the wrong spot. But now that I've got that there, now if I open up my Outlook and go down here to my tasks, okay, let's do that again. I think I hit that cursor in the wrong spot there. Let's do that one more time so we're clear here. We'll just call this sample Outlook item. Just going to highlight it. Click Outlook tasks for today. Let's go back into Outlook, go into my, and there we go. I'm going to make this bigger so you can see it. There's my sample Outlook item. So I can put that in there with a reminder, and that way as I'm working on my managing my project here in OneNote, I can set up reminders in Outlook for things I need to get done without even leaving OneNote. So very cool feature. And since that's a sample, I want to make sure and delete that before I go back to here. And let's see other cool things you can do with this. Like I say, we talked about the recording audio and video, which is super handy. Like I say, if you can just record the audio of your meeting just as you can take notes and record the audio at the same time and just have it embedded in the page, which is very cool. Let's take a second now and talk about how to share this. So it's like, okay, I've been managing my project in here, or I just got done with a meeting and I've got a big list of action items and whatnot. I have other options. I can email the page right through Outlook, but if I want to just share the entire notebook, say I've got, my project team is is dispersed. And it's like, okay, I just want to share this with you. So a couple of easy ways to do that. Um, Basically, you go up to the File menu and pull it down to Share, and you'll get this little warning here that says to share this notebook, you need to put it in OneDrive or SharePoint. Um, so you just do that, and then it's very easy to do. And that's really all there is to it. You just easily share it with folks. And the one thing too is to remember is, and again, this is obvious after you've used it a couple of times, but at first it's worth reminding is you always want to save your OneNote notebooks into OneDrive, because that way they are shareable. Because if it's on your local machine, obviously, you can't share. And yes, you could put it out on a site and do it that way, but it's easier if you have access to OneDrive is to just share it there. So just a kind of an FYI on that. Oh, and some other cool features that you may, depending on what kind of a computer you have, if you have a touchscreen, this is a super handy feature, and that the OneNote does a terrific job with optical character resolution. So let me just show you that real quick by going up here to, say I had a touchscreen and I wanted to just write on my screen. I'll go up here to draw. In this case, I'm doing this with a mouse, so please bear with me here, but I can just write something in here. And that was really painful. But then what you do now is up here on the ribbon is click on ink to text, and hopefully it'll turn that into text, and it did. And that's actually a real testament right there. I can read my handwriting with a mouse handwriting. So that's pretty impressive right there in its own right. But like I say, if you've got a touchscreen or a pad with a stylus or something, you can just write as fast as you want, and then just click ink to text, and there you go. So another very cool feature. And I know we're getting down a bit on time. Amanda, do we have any questions?
We do have a few questions, actually.
Awesome.
So let me go through and pick some that I see asked multiple times.
Okay.
Oh, this is a good one. How do I share a OneNote notebook or a page?
Ways to do it. You can click on File and then Share, and then in this case, I don't have that in OneDrive, but basically you can just click from here and do that. So actually, let me do this. Let me make a new notebook and put it in OneDrive so that we can do that. Just gonna click on this, and I'm just gonna call this new OneNote, and that way I can show everybody here how to do that. So this is my new OneNote notebook that I just saved. And if I want to share this with someone now, I go up here to File, go down here to Share, and then I've got a couple ways to do it. If I click Share with People, I just type in people's names, and I right from my Outlook address, and click Share. I can get a sharing link. There's many ways to do it, but the overriding theme is that it's just really super easy and quick and painless to share with it. But very good question. Any others, Amanda?
I'll ask one more so we don't go too far over time.
Cool.
This one says, how can I insert online pictures?
Okay, that's an easy one. Up here on the main bar, click on Insert. Click on, there's two ways to do it. You can do, if you click Pictures, that's going to be looking for pictures on your computer or other computers that you're connected to. Or if you click Online Pictures, that'll bring you back to the Bing photo search right there, and just type in anything you want. So that is very easy. Oh, and if we do have time for one more, there's one more thing I wanted to show people, and that's how to take notes in OneNote without even opening it.
Sure, you can go right ahead.
Okay, so let me let me close OneNote. And this is a cool feature. You hit the Windows key plus the N key. And you'll see a little window pop up. And I'm just going to type in sample notes without OneNote being open. I'm going to close this. And then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to open up OneNote and show you how to find that. Okay, that's going to pop open. And if I go up here and pull this down to quick notes, there's what I just typed without even opening OneNote. And that's all we have today, folks. So I really want to thank you all for joining today's webinar. And, please, once again, we offer these bi-weekly, and anything that any questions you have, please let us know. We're here to help. Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah, thank you everyone for attending today's webinar, Best Practices in Managing Projects with OneNote. We welcome your questions, suggestions, and feedback. For more information, you can email us at contact@advisacon.com. And once you exit today's webinar, you will receive a survey on the presentation, and you will need to complete and submit this survey to receive your PDUs. From there, you will receive a follow-up email within 2 business days with your PDU information. And so on behalf of AdvisaCon, Eric, and myself, thank you for joining us today, and we hope to see you participate in future webinars. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.
Bye, everybody.